Hello there. If you're watching this right now, you're probably someone who deeply values your health. Or maybe you're beginning to notice subtle but worrying changes in your body. Maybe your legs feel a little weaker than they used to. Perhaps walking up a flight of stairs feels more like a chore than a challenge. Or maybe your legs cramp more often, ache for no reason, or feel like they've lost their spark. And yet, here's the twist that almost no one talks about. The very fruits you've been told are healthy could be quietly damaging your leg strength, especially if you're between the ages of 60 and 85. Now, I know that sounds shocking. Fruits are supposed to be the golden children of healthy eating, right? They're colorful, natural, rich in vitamins. What could possibly go wrong? But as someone who spent over 20 years working closely with older adults and researching age-related nutrition and muscle decline, I can tell you, not all fruits are friendly after 60. In fact, some can be outright harmful to your muscle performance, blood flow, nerve health, and long-term stability. This video isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to liberate you. Because once you understand how these so-called healthy fruits are actually draining the very strength you need to stay active, independent, and pain-free, you'll be empowered to make smarter, safer choices. Not just to protect your legs, but to keep enjoying the freedom to move without fear. In this video, I'll walk you through the 7 worst fruits for leg strength, break down exactly why they're harmful for seniors, and share simple, powerful alternatives that will help you feel stronger and more energized. We'll cover how hidden sugars and acids can damage nerve endings and inflame muscles. Potassium imbalances in certain fruits can cause cramping or weakness. Some seemingly harmless fruits can spike insulin and hurt circulation. And most importantly, what to eat instead to regain vitality in your legs and overall energy. Before we dive into the specific fruits to avoid, let's talk about why leg strength is so critical as we age. You see, your legs aren't just for walking. They're your foundation, literally. They support your entire body weight. They keep you steady. They're your first line of defense against falls, fractures, and that creeping feeling of helplessness that no one wants to experience. But here's the problem. After age 60, your leg muscles naturally start to weaken, unless you actively do something about it. And nutrition? That's one of the most powerful tools you have. The right foods can fuel your strength. The wrong ones, they act like termites, slowly eating away at your foundation until one day you realize it's unstable. So today, we're going to rebuild that foundation together, starting with your plate. Ready? Let's uncover the first fruit that's doing more harm than good. Now, let's start with one of the most beloved fruits in the world, bananas. I know what you're thinking. Bananas? Really? Yes, really. Bananas are often celebrated for their high potassium content. And yes, potassium is crucial for muscle function. It helps regulate muscle contractions and nerve signals. That's all true. But here's where things get tricky, especially for older adults. Most seniors already experience changes in how their kidneys function. As the body ages, the kidneys may not filter minerals like potassium as efficiently. This means that potassium can build up in the blood, even if you're eating a so-called healthy amount of bananas. And when your potassium levels become too high, a condition called hyperkalemia, it doesn't just cause fatigue. It can trigger serious muscle weakness, numbness, irregular heart rhythms, and even paralysis in extreme cases. And here's the kicker, many older adults don't know they have impaired kidney function until symptoms show up. So if you're eating bananas every single day, thinking they're helping your legs, but you've got a weakened filtering system, you're actually doing the opposite of what you intended. But that's not all. Bananas are also high in natural sugar, which spikes your blood glucose levels. And high blood sugar, especially chronic, damages nerves, particularly the ones in your legs and feet. It's a major reason seniors develop neuropathy, that tingling, numb, or burning sensation in the legs that makes walking or standing uncomfortable. When your leg nerves are inflamed or damaged, your strength, balance, and coordination suffer. So what's the takeaway here? If you're a senior and you're eating bananas every single day thinking they're a miracle fruit, take a step back. Enjoying a banana once or twice a week, especially if you're active and hydrated, likely won't hurt. But making it a daily habit could silently sap your leg strength, especially if you're already at risk for kidney issues or blood sugar imbalance. So what's a better alternative? Blueberries. Blueberries are low in sugar, rich in antioxidants, and support brain and muscle function. They're anti-inflammatory and actually help protect blood vessels and nerves, unlike bananas which may overload your system. So, next time you're reaching for that bright yellow banana, pause. Think about your body. Think about your legs. They carry you every day. They deserve better. Now let's move to fruit number 2, and this one will surprise you even more. Now, onto another household staple, oranges. They're often praised for their high vitamin C content. And yes, vitamin C is essential. It boosts your immune system, helps with collagen production, and even improves iron absorption. Sounds great, right? But here's the hidden truth, especially for seniors. As we age, our digestive systems become more sensitive. And oranges, despite being rich in nutrients, are highly acidic. This acidity can inflame the stomach lining, trigger acid reflux, and cause digestive discomfort, especially in people over 60 whose stomach linings may already be thinner or more delicate. But the real issue with oranges? Inflammation. Oranges, especially in high amounts, can exacerbate systemic inflammation in the body. When your body is in a constant low-grade inflammatory state, common in seniors, certain foods can tip the balance and cause inflammation to flare up. And chronic inflammation, my friend, is the enemy of your legs. It can damage blood vessels that nourish your leg muscles, diminish nutrient and oxygen delivery, lead to stiffness, swelling, and muscle fatigue. It's not uncommon for seniors who eat several oranges a day or drink orange juice regularly to report leg heaviness, stiffness, or even cramps during the night. That's no coincidence. And speaking of orange juice, it's even worse. 1 cup of orange juice has the same amount of sugar as a can of soda. Yes, you heard that right. That sugar overload doesn't just spike your glucose, it accelerates nerve damage, weakens capillaries in your legs, and can contribute to that tingling, numb, or burning sensation we talked about earlier. So should you avoid oranges entirely? No, moderation is key. 1 small orange every few days, especially eaten with a balanced meal, is fine. But if you're snacking on them throughout the day, juicing them, or thinking they're the ultimate healthy snack, you might be doing your legs more harm than good. What's a better alternative? Kiwi. Yes, kiwi is also high in vitamin C, even more than oranges, but it's less acidic and has a gentler effect on your stomach and inflammation levels. Plus, it's packed with fiber, which is fantastic for digestion and overall health. So next time you go to grab a glass of orange juice or peel that 3rd orange of the day, think about your legs, your nerves, your muscles. And remember, not all healthy fruits are healthy for everyone, especially as we age. We're just getting started. The next fruit is one that's often mistaken for a diet-friendly snack, but can quietly sabotage your leg health. Let's talk about grapes. They're small, juicy, and often labeled as a heart-healthy snack. Easy to toss into a bowl, no peeling, no fuss. Sounds perfect, right? But for people between 65 and 80, grapes might be one of the worst culprits, silently stealing your leg strength. Here's why. Grapes are extremely high in natural sugars, particularly fructose. A single cup of grapes contains nearly 23 grams of sugar. That's about the same as 2 glazed donuts. Now, natural sugar is still sugar to your body. And here's what that excess does, especially as we age. 1. Elevated blood sugar equals damaged nerves. Chronically high blood sugar levels, even from natural sources, contribute to neuropathy, a condition that damages the nerves in your legs and feet. It begins with a tingle, then numbness, then that feeling of pins and needles, and eventually, loss of leg sensation and muscle weakness. Hidden fat storage. Grapes are high on the glycemic index. This means they cause a quick spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash. That crash causes fatigue, yes, even in your leg muscles, and over time, this roller coaster of blood sugar contributes to fat storage in the thighs and calves, which makes walking harder and tires your legs faster. Inflammation and fluid retention. Too many grapes can also lead to water retention, especially in the lower body. If your ankles are swelling, your legs feel heavy, and your knees ache after long walks, your body may be inflamed from the sugar overload. And if you're someone who thinks, but I only eat red grapes for the antioxidants, even those aren't off the hook. The antioxidant benefits don't cancel out the sugar spikes. Let me be clear, grapes in moderation aren't evil. But if you snack on them all day, drink grape juice, add raisins, which are concentrated grapes, to cereal or baked goods, then you may be overloading your system with fructose, putting pressure on your pancreas, your liver, and yes, your legs. Better alternative? Blueberries. They're lower in sugar, higher in antioxidants, and much better for blood sugar balance. Plus, they actually reduce inflammation, improve blood circulation, and support muscle recovery. So if you're craving a sweet snack that supports your legs instead of weakening them, swap out the grape bowl for a handful of blueberries. Your legs will thank you, with better balance, less pain, and more strength to keep you moving confidently through your 70s and beyond. And up next, a tropical fruit that's praised in smoothies, but it could be causing cramping and joint pain without you even knowing. Bananas. They're soft, easy to chew, easy to digest, and they're often called a miracle fruit for quick energy. But here's the truth that most people never hear. If you're between the ages of 65 and 80, and you're struggling with leg cramps, joint pain, or sluggish muscles, bananas may not be helping. In fact, they might be silently contributing to the problem. Let's break it down. Bananas are often promoted for their potassium content. And yes, potassium is essential for muscle function. But what they don't tell you is that bananas also come with a high glycemic load, meaning they spike your blood sugar fast. Here's how that impacts your legs. 1. Sugar spikes lead to energy crashes. Bananas contain 14 to 17 grams of sugar per fruit. For a younger person with a fast metabolism, this may not be a big deal. But for seniors, your body's ability to process glucose slows down with age. So instead of the sugar turning into smooth energy, it overwhelms your bloodstream. What happens next? You feel good for 30 minutes. Then suddenly, you're exhausted, your legs feel heavy, and your motivation to move disappears. This pattern, over time, leads to muscle weakness and fatigue in your lower limbs. Hidden triggers for leg cramps. Many older adults eat bananas thinking it will prevent cramping. But here's the catch. Bananas are very low in magnesium and calcium, both of which are equally essential in preventing leg cramps. So while you're getting potassium, you're missing the full trio of minerals that keep your muscles relaxed and functional. Worse, for some people, especially those with kidney issues, which becomes more common with age, too much potassium can actually be dangerous, leading to hyperkalemia, a condition that weakens muscles and affects heart rhythm. Bananas can be inflammatory for some, though they seem harmless. Bananas contain lectins, plant proteins that, in sensitive individuals, can trigger inflammation, especially in joints. That means your knees may ache more, or your ankles may feel stiffer the more bananas you eat. And here's something else to think about. If you're eating bananas every morning with toast or cereal, you're starting your day with a carb and sugar bomb that sets the tone for weakness all day. So what's the better option? Avocado. Yes, technically it's a fruit, and unlike bananas, avocados are packed with magnesium, potassium, and healthy fats. They help balance your blood sugar, fuel your muscles, and support healthy joints. An avocado toast on whole grain bread does way more for your legs than a banana with cereal ever could. Remember, the goal is not just to eat healthy, it's to eat smart for your age. So if you've been reaching for bananas thinking they're helping your legs, you might want to reconsider and give your body the nutrients it truly needs to stay mobile, balanced, and pain-free. Grapes. Tiny, sweet, refreshing. They seem innocent enough, especially the seedless, perfectly round ones you might find in those convenient plastic containers at your local grocery store. They're easy to snack on, easy to pack, and often marketed as a heart-healthy option. But for older adults, especially those between 65 and 80, grapes might be doing more harm than good when it comes to leg strength and vascular health. Let's unpack why. Grapes are high in fructose. A hidden danger: the sweetness of grapes comes from their high fructose content. Unlike glucose, which your body can use right away for energy, fructose is processed in the liver. And if you consume too much of it, it can overwhelm your liver, leading to fatigue, inflammation, and fat storage, especially around the belly and legs. Now, why does that matter for your legs? When your liver becomes overworked, it can no longer help regulate energy distribution efficiently. This causes muscle fatigue, slower recovery after movement, and even increases in lactic acid buildup in the lower limbs, which may trigger cramps. Too many grapes equals blood sugar spikes. Just 1 cup of grapes contains 23 grams of sugar. That's nearly as much as a full-size candy bar. These spikes in blood sugar can cause a roller coaster of energy highs and lows, leading to wobbly knees, weak calf muscles, increased chances of falling or losing balance as we age. Insulin sensitivity decreases. That means your muscles have a harder time absorbing sugar from your bloodstream to use as fuel. If that sugar just lingers, you feel sluggish, and your leg muscles begin to deteriorate over time. Grapes can be highly inflammatory for seniors. Here's something that's rarely discussed. Grapes, especially those that are non-organic, are one of the most heavily sprayed fruits in the world. This means you're not just eating grapes. You're also eating traces of pesticides and preservatives that can disrupt your gut and increase inflammation. What does inflammation do? It causes joints to ache, makes your ankles and knees stiff, and weakens your ability to stand, climb stairs, or even walk without discomfort. If you're already experiencing arthritis or neuropathy, grapes may be aggravating your symptoms without you even realizing it. So what should you eat instead? Berries, like blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. They're lower in sugar, high in antioxidants, and loaded with anthocyanins, compounds that have been shown to strengthen blood vessels, improve circulation, reduce leg swelling. They also help combat oxidative stress, which is a major contributor to muscle loss and leg fatigue in seniors. Next time you're craving something sweet, reach for a small bowl of berries instead of a handful of grapes. Your veins, arteries, and legs will thank you. Pineapple. It's juicy, tangy, and often associated with beach vacations and tropical smoothies. You might think, it's packed with vitamin C. It must be good for me. And yes, pineapples do offer some health benefits. They contain bromelain, a natural enzyme that can help with digestion and even reduce inflammation in small amounts. But for seniors between 65 and 80, especially those dealing with leg fatigue, swelling, or joint pain, eating too much pineapple can actually make matters worse. Let's look at why this tropical delight may be silently harming your legs and mobility. High acidity equals joint and muscle irritation. Pineapple is one of the most acidic fruits you can eat. And while that tanginess might taste refreshing, that same acidity can irritate muscles, tendons, and connective tissues, especially in aging bodies where inflammation already lingers beneath the surface. If you've been waking up with stiff knees, swollen ankles, or leg discomfort, regular pineapple consumption might be part of the problem. The acidity can also disrupt your stomach's natural pH, which may interfere with nutrient absorption, including key minerals like magnesium and calcium, both essential for strong muscles and bones. Loaded with natural sugars that spike blood sugar, pineapple contains over 22 grams of sugar per cup, and it has a very high glycemic index, meaning it causes rapid spikes in blood glucose levels. For seniors, that's a red flag. Blood sugar spikes contribute to chronic fatigue in leg muscles, poor circulation, increased inflammation in joints, higher risk of cramps and nerve pain, even if you're not diabetic. These constant sugar surges can leave you feeling wobbly, unsteady, and drained of energy, especially in your legs. Hidden bloating effect. This one's sneaky. Many people don't realize that pineapple, because of its high sugar and acid content, can lead to bloating and water retention. This adds extra weight for your legs to carry, making it harder to move around, stand up from a chair, or go for a walk without feeling winded or sore. And for seniors with weaker core and leg muscles, this can seriously affect balance and increase the risk of dangerous falls. So what's a better option? Kiwi. Yes, kiwi is also slightly tart, but it has a much lower sugar content, and it's packed with potassium for muscle function, magnesium to fight cramps, vitamin C. Without the sugar spike, plus it's alkalizing, not acid forming, which means it helps your body reduce inflammation, not add to it. So, if you've been enjoying pineapple as a daily treat, it might be time to cut back. Try switching it out for kiwi, or even a handful of unsweetened coconut flakes with a few almonds. Your joints and legs will feel lighter, stronger, and more flexible. Bananas. They're soft, convenient, easy to chew, and they've been marketed for years as the ultimate source of potassium, the very thing your muscles need to avoid cramps, right? Well, yes and no. For decades, bananas have been a go-to recommendation for people suffering from leg cramps or muscle fatigue. But when it comes to seniors, especially those aged 65 to 80, the story is a little more complex. Let's look at why this friendly fruit might not be as leg-friendly as you think. Too much potassium can be dangerous. Yes, bananas are rich in potassium, and that's great if your body is low on it. But most seniors aren't suffering from potassium deficiency. In fact, many are already getting plenty from their diet and supplements. Here's the catch. Excess potassium can lead to a condition called hyperkalemia, which disrupts normal muscle function and causes weakness or numbness in the legs, fatigue, irregular heartbeat, muscle paralysis in severe cases. So if you're eating multiple bananas a day, especially while taking medications like ACE inhibitors or diuretics, you could be silently weakening your muscles instead of strengthening them. Low magnesium. To balance the potassium, bananas offer potassium, yes, but they're low in magnesium. And magnesium is crucial for calming muscle spasms, relaxing the nerves, and absorbing calcium properly. A banana overload can create an imbalance between potassium and magnesium, which ironically increases your chances of getting the very thing you're trying to prevent: muscle cramps and tightness in your legs. They're high in natural sugar. Just one medium banana contains about 14 grams of sugar. And while it's natural, it still behaves like sugar in your bloodstream. That means insulin spikes, fatigue after meals, sluggish circulation, heavier legs, slower recovery after walking. These symptoms build up over time and leave you wondering, why do my legs feel so weak lately? 4. Bananas can cause water retention. Bananas also have a tendency to cause bloating in some people due to their fermentable carbohydrates, which means they can promote gas and water retention, especially in sensitive stomachs. More water weight equals more pressure on your leg joints equals more discomfort when walking or standing for long periods. So what's a better alternative? Papaya. Papaya is a low-sugar, anti-inflammatory fruit that's gentle on the stomach and high in magnesium, potassium, and balanced levels, vitamin A and C, digestive enzymes that reduce bloating and inflammation. It supports circulation, keeps your gut healthy, and helps maintain the integrity of your muscle fibers, especially in your legs. Final word on bananas: if you love bananas, you don't have to banish them forever. But eating one every day, especially when you're also eating other high potassium or high sugar foods, might be doing more harm than good. Try cutting back to once or twice a week. Or better yet, substitute with fruits like papaya, kiwi, or avocado. Yes, avocado is a fruit, to maintain healthy leg function without the sugar spikes or mineral imbalance. And now that we've gone through all 7 fruits, it's time for a complete wrap-up. A look at how these foods silently wear down your leg strength, and more importantly, what you can do starting today to reverse that damage. You've now seen the list: 7 fruits, all of which seem innocent or even healthy at first glance. But when you're over the age of 65, your body reacts differently. The metabolism slows, hormonal balances shift, your muscles, bones, and circulatory system aren't what they used to be. And unfortunately, certain fruits that were once helpful can now act like silent saboteurs. Let's take a moment to understand why these fruits are particularly harmful to seniors, especially in the context of leg strength. Muscle loss is accelerated by sugar. As you age, your muscle mass naturally declines. This is called sarcopenia, and it begins as early as your 30s, but it accelerates after 60. Now add excess sugar to that equation, like the kind found in grapes, pineapples, and bananas, and you're fueling inflammation, insulin resistance, and catabolism, the breakdown of muscle tissue. Sugar creates spikes in insulin. Over time, these spikes lead to insulin resistance, which inhibits your body's ability to absorb nutrients into muscle cells. So even if you eat well, the nutrients don't get where they need to go. And your legs? Being the largest muscle group in your body, they're often the first to show signs of weakness when nutrition fails. High fructose impairs circulation. Fruits like apples, pears, and watermelon are high in fructose. Unlike glucose, fructose is metabolized by the liver, and excess fructose can turn into fat, clogging your arteries and veins over time. For older adults, good blood circulation is critical for leg strength. Poor circulation leads to tingling or numbness, cold feet, fatigue after short walks, cramping in calves and thighs. You might blame age, but often the culprit is what's on your plate or in your fruit bowl. Mineral imbalances equals muscle dysfunction. Several fruits we discussed, like oranges and bananas, can cause mineral imbalances when overconsumed. These imbalances disrupt nerve signaling, muscle contraction, joint lubrication, hydration levels. For example, too much potassium without enough magnesium can lock up your muscles, causing cramping or even stiffness in the knees and ankles. You need a harmonious blend of magnesium, potassium, calcium, and sodium to stay mobile and pain-free. Sadly, these fruits throw off that balance when not eaten mindfully. Inflammation triggers joint pain and weakness. Many fruits, especially if sprayed with pesticides or eaten out of season, are high in lectins, oxalates, and sugars that act as inflammatory triggers. And inflammation is the enemy of strength. It attacks the joints, like knees and hips, erodes the cartilage, tightens up the tendons, and causes fluid buildup in the legs. You might think your arthritis or leg pain is simply part of aging, but in many cases, it's your body reacting to years of low-grade inflammation, often fueled by foods that look healthy on the outside. The senior gut is more sensitive. Here's something no one talks about enough. As you age, your gut flora changes. You produce less stomach acid, your enzyme levels decline, and your intestinal barrier weakens. Many fruits we've discussed, like watermelon and citrus, are difficult to digest in older adults. They ferment in the gut, causing bloating, gas, acid reflux, diarrhea, or constipation. Poor gut health equals poor nutrient absorption equals weaker muscles and more fatigue. This is especially harmful to your legs, which rely on steady fuel and oxygen flow. So, what's the takeaway? You've probably eaten these fruits for years and thought nothing of it. You may have even eaten more of them, believing they were doing your body good. But now you know better. When you're between the ages of 65 and 80, the nutritional needs of your body change. Foods that once energized you can now deplete you. And if you're noticing slower walking pace, tired legs, cramping at night, trouble getting out of chairs or beds, then your fruit intake might be part of the problem. Don't worry. we're not saying you can't eat fruit, but we are saying you must choose your fruits wisely and stop blindly trusting labels like healthy or natural. Now that we've explored the harmful effects of certain fruits on your legs, it's time to talk about the better alternatives. After all, it's not just about what to avoid, but also about what to include in your diet to support leg strength, mobility, and overall vitality. A balanced diet filled with the right nutrients will give you the strength you need to stay active and healthy as you age. It's all about nourishing your body with foods that will keep your muscles, joints, and bones strong and support healthy circulation. So let's explore some of the best fruits and foods to add to your diet that promote leg strength and overall well-being in seniors. Berries, the powerhouses of antioxidants. Let's start with berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. These little fruits are packed with antioxidants, which help combat inflammation and protect against oxidative stress. For seniors, inflammation is one of the biggest contributors to leg pain, joint stiffness, and muscle weakness. The antioxidants in berries reduce oxidative damage and promote healthier circulation. Why they're great? Rich in vitamin C, helps with collagen production and tissue repair, which are vital for keeping your joints and muscles strong. Anti-inflammatory properties, reduce swelling and discomfort in your legs. Promote circulation, improve blood flow to your leg muscles, helping prevent cramps and stiffness. Apples, a source of fiber and potassium. Apples are naturally high in fiber, which helps maintain digestive health and prevent bloating. They also contain potassium, which is important for muscle function and hydration. This fruit helps regulate your body's fluid balance, preventing muscle cramps and promoting the health of your blood vessels. Why they're great? Fiber supports digestion and helps you absorb nutrients better. Potassium supports muscle function and fluid balance in your body. Low in sugar. Unlike some other fruits, apples provide a slow release of natural sugar, avoiding the blood sugar spikes that can lead to muscle issues. Avocados, healthy fats for joint and muscle support. You may not think of avocados as a typical fruit, but they are an excellent source of healthy fats, particularly monounsaturated fats. These fats are known for supporting heart health and reducing inflammation in the body. For seniors, they're especially useful in reducing joint pain and improving muscle function. Why they're great? Omega-3 fatty acids. These fats are crucial for reducing muscle stiffness, improving joint health, and reducing inflammation. Magnesium and potassium. Both of these minerals support muscle relaxation and function, helping your legs stay strong and flexible. Rich in fiber, supports digestive health, making sure your body can absorb the nutrients it needs to stay healthy. Oranges. Vitamin C for collagen production. Oranges are packed with vitamin C, which is essential for the production of collagen, the protein that supports joints, muscles, and tendons. For seniors, having healthy joints is key to maintaining strength in your legs, as joint pain is one of the main contributors to mobility issues. Why they're great? Vitamin C helps produce collagen and maintain healthy joints, ligaments, and muscles. Hydration. Oranges have high water content, helping with fluid balance and muscle hydration. Anti-inflammatory. Reduce swelling and pain in the joints and muscles, especially for those dealing with arthritis or general stiffness. Sweet potatoes. Rich in potassium and beta-carotene. While not a fruit, sweet potatoes are a powerhouse for leg strength. They are packed with potassium, magnesium, and beta-carotene, which help keep muscles relaxed and joints in top condition. The high fiber content in sweet potatoes also supports digestive health, allowing you to absorb the essential nutrients needed for muscle and bone strength. Why they're great? Potassium supports fluid balance and muscle function, helping prevent leg cramps. Magnesium helps with muscle relaxation and reduces muscle tension. Beta-carotene helps fight inflammation and supports healthy cell function. Kiwi, a great source of vitamin C and antioxidants. Kiwi is an often overlooked fruit, but it's a great addition to your diet due to its high levels of vitamin C, fiber, and antioxidants. It helps reduce inflammation, boost your immune system, and maintain muscle strength. Plus, kiwi has a unique combination of potassium and magnesium, both of which support healthy leg muscles and overall muscle function. Why they're great? High in vitamin C, supports collagen formation for joint health. Potassium promotes muscle relaxation and prevents cramps. Fiber helps with digestion and nutrient absorption. Papaya, digestive health and joint support. Papaya is a tropical fruit loaded with vitamin C, beta-carotene, and antioxidants. Its enzymes, particularly papain, help break down proteins and improve digestion. For seniors, Proper digestion ensures that you absorb the nutrients needed to support muscle health and leg strength. Papaya also has anti-inflammatory properties, which can help with reducing swelling and pain in your legs. Why they're great? Anti-inflammatory. Helps reduce swelling in the legs and joints. Beta-carotene and vitamin C support healthy muscles and tissues. Digestive enzymes aid in nutrient absorption, ensuring your body gets the best nutrients for leg strength. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. While not technically fruits, leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are incredibly important for muscle and leg strength. They are rich in magnesium, iron, and vitamin K, which support healthy muscles, strong bones, and reduce inflammation. Why they're great? Magnesium promotes muscle relaxation and reduces cramps. Vitamin K supports bone health and muscle function. Iron, essential for energy production and maintaining healthy muscle tissue. Now that you've learned about the best fruits and foods for maintaining leg strength, it's time to put this knowledge into practice. By adding more of these nutrient-rich foods to your diet, you'll be giving your body the tools it needs to stay strong, mobile, and pain-free. Remember, seniors should always be mindful of their nutrition. A diet rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and minerals will help you stay independent and enjoy the activities you love for years to come. Choose wisely and keep those legs strong. Thank you for joining me on this journey toward better leg health. If you found this information helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more tips on aging healthily and maintaining a vibrant lifestyle.